Welcome to Best Day Audio.
Today is Tuesday, January 5th. I'm John Weber. Coming up, Richard Asprey, President and Chief Executive Officer of Aggressive Insurance, talks about why the company chose now to enter the general aviation insurance market. This and the day's top news from the AM Best Newsroom.
You're listening to Best Day Audio.
I'm Chad Hemingway with today's Best Day Audio Spotlight. Joining me is Richard Asprey, President and CEO of Aggressive Insurance. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Chad. It's a pleasure to be here.
Mr. Asprey, if you can, let's start off with you telling me a little bit about Aggressive Insurance and why you thought this time is a good time to get into the aviation insurance market.
Sure, Chad. Aggressive Insurance is essentially an MGA, and we provide underwriting, policy administration, and claim services to insurance companies and to reinsurers. For the past 7 years, we have been involved predominantly in the personal lines insurance market, working with auto insurance and homeowners insurance, and have built administrative systems to handle that sort of business. We saw a dislocation occurring in the aviation market earlier this year, with markets leaving and certain indicators pointing towards a hardening of the market in the near future. I was in discussions with a team at that time who had vast experience in the aviation market, and we decided that we would employ that team to work towards launching an aviation program at the end of 2009, and we believe that there will be a further hardening in the market during 2010. The aviation business has historically been mostly agency billed and or premium financed, and that was something that we did in the personal lines industry 15 years ago, and it was something that we tried very hard with our systems to get away from, and indeed most personal lines companies today don't have any involvement with premium financing or agency billing. So we have brought our systems to bear on a line of business, aviation, which have not been brought to bear on that market before, so that we can actually help insurance agents and customers manage their policies more effectively.
Well, what are some of those processing efficiencies that you're just talking about?
Well, today, rather than a customer calling an agent and the agent putting information into an online application, which then goes to underwriters, and maybe a quote gets generated in a 2 to 3 day period, today we have put all of the underwriting inside our system so that in real time a customer can come to our system, enter very basic, like the N number of the aircraft, and if they enter the N number of the aircraft, it actually populates our entire system with the model and make of that aircraft, the certificate of that aircraft, and the owner's name and details. And with a few additional questions, an agent or an insured can generate a quote in real time. So there's no need to call, wait, mail, or fax. Everything is online in real time and all web-based. We also believe that aviation policyholders should have more ability to manage their own policy and also should have more options on payments. It appears that most companies in this market today require a policyholder to either pay their policy premium in full or they require them to finance their premium at very high interest rates. What we have done is we have taken the automobile personal lines approach and we have built in monthly payments which we can direct bill to the customer, and we can take a 30-day down payment for a policy and bill 11 equal installments. This sort of cash flow assistance to the policyholder doesn't often get seen as very important because most people believe that someone owning an aircraft is very wealthy.
Right.
However, 45% of all aircraft in the United States have a hull value of under $100,000, and nearly 25% of all aircraft are actually under $50,000, about the average cost of an SUV. So we believe that for a huge portion of the marketplace, these aircraft are not necessarily toys, but they're certainly something that are owned by regular middle-class families. And therefore, they can take advantage of monthly payments and not be embarrassed into making a lump sum payment once a year.
That probably brings me to my next question about what your target market will be. Is that the target market, the middle class?
Well, the target market that we have put together basically is for owners and operators of general aviation. And we classify that as no jets. We're only looking at piston-driven aircraft. We're looking at pleasure and business and a range of commercial classes, but predominantly small, light aircraft built on or after 1955. And that market is about 85% of the total aviation market that exists in the United States. So it's a very broad group, but we're not looking at doing helicopters. We're not looking at doing jets. We're looking at the aircraft that are generally valued with a hull value of under $1 million and have single engines mostly. And the target market really is the owner and or operator of that aircraft.
And where are you, I guess, being distributed now, and what are your plans for expansion?
Right now, we started this program in the middle of September, and in starting the program, we had to go to the various states and get regulatory approval for the rates and the policy forms that we are using. We actually have those rates and policy forms submitted to 43 states, and we have approval from 32 states. We actually, as of today, have 17 states programmed into the system, and another 19 states will be programmed into the system during the next 3 weeks. So this is coming very quickly in terms of geographical distribution. We will not be making a filing in Alaska. We will not be making a filing in Hawaii, and we will not be making a filing in the District of Columbia, but we will be in all other states in the very near future. As far as distribution of the product from an agency base is concerned, we will only deal with independent agents. We will not be going direct to the consumer. If a consumer does contact us directly, we will be asking them to contact their agent. If they don't have an agent, we will be able to suggest one in their local vicinity, but we would much prefer to refer them to the agent that they have used in the past and have that agent contact us for an appointment.
Mr. Asprey, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, yes, and I think that where we started from, which was the reason that we have expanded into aviation,
right,
we now find ourselves with a platform that includes auto insurance, it includes homeowners insurance, and now aviation insurance, and we also have some small commercial products that we distribute nationwide. What we see for the future is that we would like to deploy our systems and our administrative processes into other lines of business and provide that sort of servicing support to insurance companies and reinsurers. We are always open to talk to insurance companies and or reinsurers on how we can assist them enter a particular market or a particular product line if that should be their desire. So we encourage people to contact us.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Chad.
That was Richard Asprey from Aggressive Insurance, and I'm Chad Hemingway for Best Day Audio.